Profanity Nation.
Yeah, it's the new era of man for some old school fans with a new school brand. We got money on the mic with the plan in hand. And Stat Pat to his left, they go hand in hand. And to the right, we got Simpster, he putting it down. It's the Profanity Nation, we running the town, yeah.
It's the Profanity Nation.
Hey, welcome to the show. Welcome to the Profanity Nation podcast, where we are the voice of the professional fan. Thank you for joining us every Sunday night. As always, I am welcomed here by my co-host, Money Mike, Mr. Money Mike. You know what? Wait a minute. You look different.
Man, I've been working out, man.
You've been what?
I've been training.
Yeah, I think you look a little bit.
Hey, I've been training. Somebody challenged me, man. So I've been training. We're going to talk about it.
Yeah, you look like a dictionary a little bit there. Go ahead, tell us. Okay, well, we'll get to that in a second, buddy Mike. Stat Pat, how you doing, my man?
Doing good, man. Free agency.
Free agency happened.
So, yeah,
free agency came.
And I'm pretty happy about it.
Yeah, free agency came. Okay, so unless you've been hiding under a rock, if you're watching or listening to anything NBA, of course, the NBA never sleeps. There is never an off season, and that is especially true for the Los Angeles Lakers, which is why we are here. We're going to bring you up to date on everything that took place in the 2023 free agency market, and the Lakers did a lot. If you've been watching any other shows or anything, the Lakers have been given an A+ for what they've done, guys, with this. But before we get started with that, I want to talk a little bit more because we touched on it a little bit. Okay, so you're working out, and why are you working out here, Money?
Yeah, so look, hey man, listen, I got it's a bad thing, man, when you're in the household and your wife is against you. My wife told my daughter that she would give her $100 if she lapped me in a mile. And I was like, that ain't gonna happen. Now,
how old's your daughter?
My daughter's 15. She
okay.
Run, full disclosure, she about to be 15 in about another month and a half. She runs track, but she's a sprinter. She runs 100s and 200s, right? We talking about 1600. And so the sister, she don't do long distance runs. So my wife told her that she'll give her $100 if she lapped me in a mile. And I said, that ain't gonna happen. So I did a survey. I done reached out to probably everybody I know, and probably about 80% of the people.
90.
80% of the people are saying that I'm gonna get lapped.
90.
So that lit a fire up under me. I ain't gonna let that happen. I'm training. I'm cutting back. No more soda for me. Salads. I'm gonna cut down 20 pounds. So and then I'm gonna make sure she don't lap me. We actually have a date, August 19th, man, in Torrance. So yeah, no, look, all y'all Profane Nation people out there, make sure all y'all root for Money Mike on this.
All right, yeah, that's probably not going to happen once they see your daughter. They're going to go, I'm going for the daughter. I'm putting my money.
Smart money.
So what do you think? What do you think? You think I'm gonna be able to beat her? Come on, man. We do a show every week, man.
Yeah,
you gotta be on my
no,
side.
I don't, because I don't think you made the rules right. So no, I don't think so.
So if we had shirts, for example, and one says Team Dad and Team KK, you will have the Team KK shirt on.
I support your effort, but no, yeah, no.
You don't have a Team KK shirt on. Stat Pat. I don't know you almost 20 years, right, brother?
Yeah, I got you, man. Team
cool.
Dad. I'm on your side for sure.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, Team Dad.
Just gotta get through. You guys weather the storm. Just don't get dejected. For early on, because she's
right.
It's gonna look like she's out there.
Yeah.
Here's the thing that
the first 200 meters going.
Here's the thing.
Go reality real quick.
She all she has to do is lap you, but all she has to do is lap you before you complete a mile.
Right.
So she doesn't have to complete a mile and lap you. She has to just kick ass that first lap, run, and catch up to you before you can actually complete your mile.
Right.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna let that happen.
Now you're not gonna claim injury or
no
excuses.
No. I am August 19th. That's 7 weeks. I'm running about 4 or 5 times a week. Okay. I'm actually going to run about 7.
Are you looking to lose weight specifically?
Oh, I'm going to lose weight because I'm.
Are you just going to lose weight, or do you have a goal?
No, I'm going to lose weight because I'm training.
Okay, yeah, but you don't have a goal weight in mind.
No, I have no goal weight in mind, but I'm going to lose weight because I'm training. Okay. And listen, I'm gonna be ready.
And you're on team money.
Yeah,
Mike?
for sure. Team money.
Yeah.
Team money. I think he can do it.
Okay.
So-
okay. And then next year you're rooting for the Clippers too?
No.
No.
Oh, my bad.
No.
Root for the underdog there.
I already root for the Raiders.
All right, you're already. I have my underdog.
Already good. in that
Exactly.
department. I'm good.
You're like, I already have
I'm
my
good.
misery. I don't need
Yeah.
any more.
Yeah. No. So no, it's going to be happening. It's going to be great.
Well, I can't
It's
wait
gonna
to
be
see. So
enjoyable.
August 19th, we'll keep up to date each week with your training.
Yes.
and we'll see
Yeah,
how it
I'm
goes.
gonna let you guys know, man, because I ain't gonna let this happen. Like
All
you
right.
know,
Can't.
we were born on the same day.
Oof.
We shared the same
So
birthday.
you lost your
we're
birthday.
both.
Yeah, you already lost
lost
birthday.
your
And I must
First
win.
loss of the
Now
year.
he's gonna
I
lose his
must win.
respect.
I
Well, what's
must win.
next, my man?
Because I wanna talk all that smack to her. She talk about I run a 20-minute mile.
You can't beat
No,
that.
my mile right now is 14
All right.
minutes.
Gotcha.
Oh,
All right.
yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens there.
Mhm.
We'll see what happens there. Okay. So with that, let's get back to some Lakers talk, you guys.
Yeah,
'cause there's
Lakers.
some really
Let's
exciting
do it.
stuff here. Okay. Again, to summarize, the Lakers did outstanding. Rob Pelinka really knocked this one out of the park.
Cooking.
He did some incredible free agent signings. Some of the best signings were just keeping our own players.
Right.
But let's go ahead and get filled in. Stat Pat, what did let's talk about the players that the Lakers kept that were important. Go ahead and fill us in on what Rob did.
So coming into the offseason, the Lakers had pretty much the theme was continuity, keeping pretty much the team together, let's running it back. And they were true to their word. So before I thought that they're saying this, but if a deal show up that would be too good to pass up, they'll go ahead and make the deal. And like in true Laker fashion, I can't fault them. That's what the Lakers MO. However, they did stick to the script and they kept the important players, which were their own free agents. They kept Hachimura first, was the first one to sign with the
Yep,
Lakers.
That was outstanding.
And that was on a discount. They also locked in D'Angelo Russell, which was at a really much a discount.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I that's one that I could let D'Angelo go personally. Because the thing about D'Angelo is he became very one-dimensional in the playoffs.
Right.
I was during the season between the playoffs I was happy, but then all of a sudden when he wasn't able to find the shot, he doesn't play defense. He don't get rebounds. He's not even giving a foul. Like this dude really wasn't doing anything to impact the game. So the D'Angelo Russell one, I don't know. I don't know who else we probably could have gotten, but
Are you happy with the terms of the contract?
yeah, because it's 1-1.
Okay.
So, but the problem with the 1-1, and he has a player option.
player option
Yeah.
for two.
That means he has input on the trade
Yeah, and it's fine.
if we decide one.
It's just when we look at D'Angelo Russell and we see the numbers that he's put up this season, if we did let him go, we still need to find those same numbers
How are we gonna
this
fill
season.
that spot?
How do we fill those
For that
numbers
price?
at that price?
Who's
There's
available?
nobody available
Yeah.
that was going to be able to get him at that. Even at the 2-year $50 million, that would have been kind of hard to get what he gives you at that number. And they got him pretty much around $14 million a year. So
Mhm.
you have him and then Austin Reeves locking him in for 4 years.
Woo!
That's big.
Thank
That's
God.
really that's
a
big.
big one.
That's big because the Lakers play poker. I mean, they really did allow the market to dictate the negotiating terms, and it could easily San Antonio could have easily made 4 years, $100 million.
Yeah.
The Lakers would have had to match that, and they would have been hard capped and would have been they wouldn't have been able to do what they did.
Yeah.
The fact that no one came calling the first night, they were able to come back to the negotiation table, and of course, they were able to get a good deal. Plus, we started the people that we wanted to get rid of. Right, we didn't want Troy Brown anymore. We're filling Troy Brown with Taurean Prince.
Yep.
I think a really good pickup.
Yep.
Also,
That's an improvement.
yeah, and then we have Schroeder is gone. He's now, I think he's in the Toronto Raptor. And we now, instead of him, we now have signed Gabe Vincent. So, and the guy, you saw him, if you look at the playoffs, anybody looked at the playoffs, saw what he did with Miami to help them get to get to the final. So, yeah, I think
We
the
got
Lakers,
Cam too, right?
Cam Reddish.
We got
we got
too.
Cam Reddish, and a lot of people like this team was the third best team or something like that. after the
After
trade
trades, yeah.
deadline.
Yeah, All-Star game. Yeah.
And that was with a small sample size where this everybody was just winging it. Give this team with better improvements and a whole full training camp. But the camaraderie, it looks a little bit like 2020 again. You know, it's starting to like a lot of these B to B plus type players, and you have AD and LeBron doing all the heavy lifting, but the squad is so solid across the board. You're getting contributions from everybody because they're so good. And so I think this team is deep. And I really am gonna be interested to see them.
Yeah, I mean,
more.
I think what's impressive is the amount of depth that was added to the
Yeah.
team. But let's go and go one kind of player at a time here. Let's talk about that D'Lo deal. You know, you spoke about D'Lo, and you said the D'Lo deal, and I get it if you're not necessarily enamored with D'Angelo Russell, the player himself. And of course, D'Lo may or may not have a say in that trade just because of that player option, but it is a tradable asset. It's a very team friendly deal that's very tradable. So it seems like a lot of the deals that we've made that Rob signed give us some room, and the players that we want to keep long term are there, like you said, Reeves 4 years and so forth. Hachimura is happy, everybody's happy, so it looks good. But the D'Lo deal, at least, it is a tradable asset.
I give him that like a B- personally if I had to grade it.
Yeah.
Because again, like I was really disappointed where, the thing about it is you're a basketball player, so you have to be able to play every facet of the game. And being the fact when we saw if he wasn't able to shoot a 3-pointer, he wasn't able to make plays. He wasn't able to get any assists.
Non-factor.
He wasn't playing any defense. He just became a major liability when he was out there. And then we came at the following game, and he didn't have a shot. So he's like, it got to a point where, he became more of a consistent liability in the playoffs than a person that we could use. And he wasn't even like a threat. Nobody was worried about him. He was playing like crap. And when the lights are on, man, that's when you have to do your best. That's why we fell in love with Austin Reeves, because Austin Reeves had a great regular season, but then that dude stepped it up a notch in the playoffs.
Right.
So we was like, okay, he deserves everything that he's gonna get.
Right.
Schroeder stepped it up in the
Yeah.
playoffs. That's how we got like the $26 million from but this guy didn't step it up in the playoffs.
Yeah, Hachimura as well.
Yeah,
Hachimura,
Rui, same thing. Yeah, so
as we say, either shine under the lights or you will.
It is a friendly. Maybe we get training camp and get camaraderie and all that other stuff. But really, for me, the only thing he really contributed was his ice in the vein move that
everybody did.
Everybody's new.
So I can say this. So after people are signed, you start hearing all these rumors where they said that it's not guaranteed that D'Lo is going to be the starter at the end of the season.
Exactly. I like that.
If Gabe Vincent is outplaying him, and
gotta earn it,
and he has to earn it. So let's see how you handle that, and let that put a fire under you and get you ready to get, because I think he can contribute. I think I was very impressed with him during the time when LeBron James went down, and it was just pretty much him, Reeves, and AD keeping us afloat to get to the playoffs. And so I think he can contribute. And if you have a good, nice 1-2 punch with him and Gabe Vincent, I think you can platoon those minutes, and whoever you can play the hot hand, and it doesn't feel like one has to be obligated to start, because I think they're interchangeable.
That's a good thing too, and that's a nice problem to have for the Lakers, that's for sure. Let's talk. We're going to stick with the Lakers here, guys, but let's talk about. I'm going to throw out some names. Okay, these are names of players that the Lakers lost in free agency, or at least didn't re-sign. Okay, let's start with Lonnie Walker. Lonnie Walker is going to the Brooklyn Nets. Let's go with Stat Pat. Lonnie Walker, he had some good moments for the Lakers. There weren't a ton of them, but he did have some good moments. Is that a big loss? Did they fill that void?
I think where I think right now, I think it's not a big loss. I like Lonnie Walker. I mean, obviously from that game he did against Golden State, he's always going to be part of Laker lore. But I want to see Max Christie.
Yeah,
I want to
the
see Max Christie is there to get some run. Let's see what he throw him. We are trying to. We 2 years ago we had the oldest roster in the league with I think like 7 people in their age, like 33 or up. And now we're got youngsters. Let these guys run. Let them play. Let them do a lot of the heavy lifting. Let them make mistakes. Let's try to win games and try to develop these players. So when we do get into, into the postseason, they're not going to be like a deer in headlights. They're going to have a little, breaking their teeth in the playoffs because, they're still a rookie in the playoffs. But let them be prepared to make plays when they get their opportunities. And so, yeah, I just think that, those minutes that Lonnie Walker is giving up, I think Max Christie could step in and do a good job.
Thoughts, Mike?
Yeah, I've seen Max Christie play down at the G League. He's a solid piece, and I think
He's had time to mature.
Yeah, he's going back. We're going to see him again in the G League. Don't forget they got Scottie Pippen down there too, which is also pretty decent.
Yep.
So I mean, good for Lonnie. I mean, I think he kind of just got kind of stuck in. We had more priorities to sign, but I like Lonnie Walker when he was on the team. So
Okay.
I think I'm okay with him going, and
we won't miss him.
Yeah,
We'll miss him. At least with the pieces that we filled.
Yeah.
Okay, let's stick with you, Money Mike. A player that actually did really well. I don't know that any of us really expected too much from him, but he actually turned out to be a really solid player. And this one I actually think it hurts a little bit. Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder signed with the Raptors. I think that one, originally when Schroeder turned down the contract and left, Laker fans laughed at him. This time when he came back around, he was a different player for the Lakers. He had a different attitude, and he kind of held the team together at certain times. Your thoughts on Dennis Schroeder leaving the Lakers, going with the Raptors?
Look, honestly, like Dennis Schroeder, because the way I'll get back on to D'Lo, the way D'Lo was playing, Dennis Schroeder was a savior for that.
Oh yeah,
he was amazing. He was like, man, look, like like they brought him in because D'Lo was playing so bad. So
yeah,
look, I the thing about it is it's almost like if you look at both D'Lo and Schroeder, who has the most potential, it probably would be D'Lo. You would give that to D'Lo versus to Schroeder, so you knew exactly what he was going to give you. You knew exactly what Schroeder was going to give you. But no, I would not have minded at all if we would have kept Schroeder. But yeah, he got to get his money, man. Like, and I'm not mad at that. I also think he's a replaceable piece. So, like in the Max Christie or Pippen, they could
step up.
They could go step up if D'Lo plays
and Gabe Vincent too.
And Gabe is on there. So we he was replaceable. So I'm okay with that.
Okay. Yeah. Any words to say about Schroeder? I know that you were impressed with his game this year.
Yeah, I mean, going back to what Money was talking about, the fact that he was really consistent on defense. So I am going to miss that kind of that pressure up the court, 94 feet. I don't know if we have anybody on that roster. I don't want to I don't
wait
want
and see. But
I don't want Austin Reeves to do that. I don't think that's something we want him to pick up players on 94 feet.
And he almost, even though I won't say in the traditional term, Schroeder kind of filled the antagonist role for us a little bit, right? We didn't really have one there.
Right.
So he kind of filled that role when Beverly left. He kind of took that role and filled it. So I think Lakers fans actually will miss him a little bit. Let's keep going. Troy Brown. Troy Brown is now signed with the Timberwolves. Thoughts? Steph?
Look, man.
Good luck.
Good luck. Good luck.
No hard feelings.
I liked him. He was one that also was pretty consistent during that time that we had to claw our way out of the play-in game. I mean, we're not playing claw as to the 7th seed
into
from
the
the third and into the play-in.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So the fact that he helped out, I commend him for that. But I think that Taurean Prince is just better. I just think he's a better player. He's going to be more consistent with the shot. Also, his defense is going to be. It's just going to fit into what we're trying to do. There's going to be opportunities where we're going to see which Max Christie excels on defense more than on offense.
They'll maybe get a chance to grow.
So he can grow on defense and really lock in.
I do believe they'll be on the summer league too.
Definitely going to be all the rookies. Max Lewis and JHS are going to be on there as well. It's going to be Max Christie is going to be the elder statesman for that. So
okay, now let's stick at least with the theme, guys, of Lakers that were on the team last year that aren't on the team this coming up season. Now, this gentleman was actually traded before, but really, we're going Money Mike, Russell Westbrook. Westbrook is returning to the Clippers on a 2-year deal, $8 million. $8 million, 2 years.
You have to look at that two different ways. Firstly, he's from here. He's from LA. It's obvious when we traded him. I don't want to say got rid of. When we traded him away, he wanted to be back in LA. He went to the Clippers. Look, what's great about his previous contract? He probably still had that money. So he's gotten his almost $70 million, whatever his previous contract was. He's still in the league. He's still in LA. He's still on the Clippers. They wanted him. They're giving him $8 million. You can look at it two ways. Like, hey, I'm able to stay at home and still play, be competitive. But it is a fall from grace. A little bit, like what his value is, but
I mean, when you look at how the Warriors just traded for Chris Paul,
right?
Yeah, wow,
yeah,
right.
Yeah,
wow. I mean, why wasn't Russell Westbrook on that scope?
Yeah.
With the
but then I also wonder, like, why does Chris Paul keep getting this though?
Right?
Yeah, I wonder, like,
nobody likes playing.
I see Chris Paul,
right? He's not a great. I'm just gonna say, you've heard from other players, he's not the greatest locker room guy. So why does he keep? I don't understand.
Yeah, I see Chris Paul on the Westbrook level, to be honest with you.
Oh, there you go.
You know what I mean? But hey, I mean, he's people still have a little bit more faith in him, and it's real finicky. It's a real finicky league, personalities and relationships, all that stuff matter. But I mean, from Westbrook perspective, hey, I get to stay at home. I'm getting my $8 million. I already got 100. I mean, I always feel like this. Like if you look at the players, like if we look at the Lakers signings, right? Where what was Austin getting? Austin was getting maybe $2 million last year.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So now if when AD came in with that Phantom, you know what I mean? That was $300,000-$400,000. You know what I mean? Austin he would have to stretch to get that same Phantom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But now, Davis still making almost, $180 million.
Yeah.
But that $53 million, I could get a Phantom now. I get that same thing that Davis has. So and Westbrook could do that same thing. So hey, I'm gonna look at it like that. Like, he gets the opportunity to stay home. He gets to sleep in his own bed. His wife is able to be here. Hey, it's a win-win situation.
Scott,
and they're trying to get Harden, which is hilarious.
Yeah, right. Scott, does it feel kind of sad for Westbrook's legacy and career a little bit that it ends? It feels like it's just going to end with a just going to fizzle out. Now there is a chance, right? Look at Schroeder. Schroeder just signed a bigger deal. Again, down up.
Yeah.
A lot of players come to the Lakers and get that big deal. Now maybe he's going to try and earn it back.
I think it's different though.
But I do too.
I think it's way
too. I do too. So I just feels kind of.
Go ahead, Pat.
Stat. It just kind of feels.
Yeah, I mean, I think that he can still have a good end to his career with the Clippers. But the thing about it, though, and this is how it works. I mean, this is why I always like to go back and talk about like the levels between us and them. I mean, meaning them, meaning the Clippers. And he can make $4 million a year, have a mediocre season, and no one even cares
a
about
word.
anything. Now, he was making $47 million with us, and he pretty much was playing poorly with us. And it was everyone that hated the Lakers, everyone that hated Westbrook, everyone was just throwing darts on us because they were really the ones that were really creating this bad environment, about hating on Westbrook. Well, now he's over there with the Clippers, and no one really cared. They literally, they had a bad. What the game? They lose in game. What is it? Game 7? Did they lose game 7? I think they lost in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But he played
and
well.
He not in that last game though. So that's the thing. But nobody cares. It's all good. It's all good. He's fine. We love you. We're us. You're not a Laker.
Come on back.
Come on back. Let's hang out. Like you were good. And so it's gonna work out for him. But yes, is it the Hall of Fame like triple double on an aging championship contending team? No, it's not that. And that's what you would think he should have been his whole career.
It just feels like he just kind of settled.
Well, see, that's the thing, though. See, I think that's the difference between him and Schroeder, though, right? Because Schroeder kind of had to do some proving for himself because he's not a Hall of Famer. Schroeder's not nowhere near a Hall of Famer, right?
Yeah.
Westbrook is etched in stone, going to be a Hall of Famer. He's going to be first ballot. So now he's just kind of like, hey, I'm just going to, I just want to stay in the league for a couple more years.
Yeah.
And this is the way to do it. I do it in my hometown. So he's already top 75 player. What was it? You know what I mean? They added, he's on that list. So he really doesn't have anything else to prove. It's kind of, he's remind me like my comp would be Allen Iverson. You know what I mean? Where, when Allen was playing, he was good. You knew the name. But he just kind of just was like, all right, I'm cool, I'm done. Westbrook get a couple more years in. He from home. He's not playing bad, but he's Hall of Famer, so it don't matter. He gonna have a coat. He gonna have everything at the end of the year. He's had an amazing career.
Yes, he's put up some amazing numbers.
I mean, he's the average of triple double. You can't you can't take that away.
So let's keep this going, guys. Leaving the Lakers now, let's go to some key free agent signings in this free agency. After a lot of hubbub, a lot of talk, a lot of pondering, a lot of questioning, Kyrie Irving re-signs with the Mavericks. That's usually what happens when there's a lot of talk. They said they connected him with the Lakers, the Suns. He was connected with everywhere, but he ends up staying with the Mavericks. That didn't work out so well at the end of last season.
Right.
How do you see that signing? They didn't have a choice. They traded the world to get him. So how do you see that working out for them?
I mean, so you have to look at the landscape of the West and then put them where you think they should be in there, like deserve to be in there.
Well, they definitely haven't improved.
So you got Denver number 1.
Yep.
Say if you're just a homer, you're gonna say the Lakers number 2. You got Phoenix number 3. You got to talk about Memphis number 4. You see what I'm saying? Like now we got Golden State, and that's an argument.
They're falling
number 3,
down.
number 4.
They're going farther.
So we're talking about 5 now. I'm thinking, okay, so now what other team could it compete with the Utah Jazz? Are we talking like So it's like, they're number 7 seed with Kyrie and Luka only. And I don't see them adding anything. What have they done in free agency?
They have nothing. They don't have anything to work
with.
They traded all their assets.
Right. So you're saying this team is just going to get just blow the league over with just Luka and Kyrie? It's not going to work.
They definitely need help. I mean, they need a big man. They need a forward. They listen. Luka is amazing. Kyrie, when he has his head on right, is amazing. Watching them, and I didn't watch very many games, but every time Dallas would come up, their numbers were amazing. Like Luka would have 30, Kyrie would have 30.
Yeah.
They would lose, but they would have it. So I think they just really had to be strategic and make some moves where they could have more of a balance. Like they need to get probably a better center, forward, get rebounds. They just need a better team.
Yeah.
Luka and Kyrie, man, you can start both of them. Both of them could be. You could have one of them on the floor at any time. You know what I mean? Like there's ways you can make them work, but you got to figure out these other pieces.
Yeah.
You know, and then just run. Who wants to be the star? Because on paper that's scary. It's still scary. Luka is crazy, and Kyrie's crazy, but it's just seeing Kyrie's track record is what scares you.
Yeah.
Not really the play, per se. Like, what he's capable of his track record. He just really hurts teams.
Yeah.
And it's an unfortunate thing because, but man, like you kind of want him to do well though.
Yeah. I mean, I like Kyrie.
Yeah.
I think, when he's on the court, he's really a good basketball player. And I think that he has a lot of skills that can help them win, like you said, but they don't have any inside presence.
Yeah.
I don't know who their third person is. It's
Powell.
You might call me a casual or whatever, but it's still the same thing. I don't know. It's not that known. I don't think
we don't know that start
I don't know.
They definitely didn't make a splash, but they didn't have much to work with.
But you can't get mad at Dallas for trying to bring him back. They had to have had.
They didn't have a choice if they lost him.
Well, they had to have a conversation with Luka though.
Yeah,
and Luka would have had to co-sign it, right?
Luka's out the door. That's what's coming up.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, so don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we're going to talk about Fred VanVleet. He's on a new team. We're going to talk about someone who is still in the league and almost making as much money as Russell Westbrook, and you're just going to be shocked at this. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You're watching the Profanity Nation podcast.
Profanity Nation.
A podcast for the fans, by the fans. Dive deep into the topics the other shows miss. Raw and uncensored.
And he's going to play team ball. His legacy is at stake.
Rare, hard-hitting interviews with players, coaches, and you, the super fans.
I'm not hating. I'm like, okay, cool. Good.
3 championships in 5 years. He's more than good, bro.
Profanity Nation. Listen live or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Powered by Jesse Brown of Keller Williams.
United One Protection Services. With over 30 years of experience, United One Protection Services has more expertise and knowledge than the other security companies combined. Residential, commercial, municipal, or institutional, United One Protection Services does more than just security. We protect your livelihood. United One Protection Services. Yo, we're back with the Profanity Nation podcast. Thank you so much. Let's keep this going, guys. Okay, so I teased a little bit. We got Fred VanVleet. He is moving to Houston. So he's heading south, guys. He's going to the Rockets, and he wants to play for Ime Udoka. Thoughts on that?
I mean, it's get your money, dude. But you're not moving the needle. You got it's a young team, a new coach. They got the number 2 pick in the draft, right?
This is all right.
I think it's going to be. I just don't think he's going to put them in playoff contention.
No. Money, Mike. Anything on Fred VanVleet?
Fred VanVleet has always been a great above average player for me.
Yep.
He's never been.
He's not Jamal Murray.
He's never been that player where I'm like, oh my God. I mean, maybe all-star reserve caliber, but I mean, I think he only got 160 for those amount of years because he is a name. I mean, that more so than
the Raptors, they won that title with him. He is a champion. So now I teased a little bit. We spoke about Russell Westbrook getting a 2-year deal with the Clippers. And that was for $8 million. Now, this player here just signed. He gets a 2-year deal with the Grizzlies for $6.5 million. And what we're talking about here is Derrick Rose. Now, I can't believe Derrick Rose is still in the league. I think we all love Derrick Rose. We all love Derrick Rose's game, but he's been plagued by injury and has just never, ever been able to get a full season together and really get anything substantial to
Right.
his career. Yet he's making almost the same amount of money as Westbrook. Does that say anything? Am I reading wrong into that or what, Stat?
No, it's unfortunate that the market for Westbrook is this
I mean, doesn't
low.
that
It
it's
is,
depressed?
especially when you're comparing it with people that are pretty much were like in his same class. I mean,
that's like
class,
vet minimum.
but he's getting vet minimum where he used to be a max player. So yeah, it's kind of like how the mighty have fallen. But yeah, I think that deal for Derrick Rose, I kind of like it because Memphis, he comes back to the place where he started his career in college basketball. So that's cool. But and also I think if you have, say, a person like a Dylan Brooks in your locker room, and you also have a person like John Morant in your locker room, then there's no outside voices that are going to be able to penetrate those two voices to influence either one to make good decisions. I think Derrick Rose is that kind of like that adult in the room,
The veteran
the
voice.
veteran voice.
Okay.
That's what I think that he's going
That's
to
what
be
you
able
think
to
he
do.
brings.
I think he brings that at that kind of contract.
So he's getting paid for locker room.
I hope so. I really hope so because I think the fact that John Morant is still in the news talking about that wasn't a real gun, it was a cigarette lighter. It doesn't show any like remorse or
no
about,
understanding.
like what the implications like.
There's no
It's
accountability.
like
to that.
I feel like we're the only ones that knew that he was the Nets one because it was supposed to be Zion, right? And it was like they got Zion, but then they got this other kid in John Morant. But everybody was on Zion, and then when Zion kind of phased out or whatever, then John Morant was like, okay, yeah, we always knew it because it was always whispers about John Morant,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
about, and so it was like, all right, yeah, we told y'all it was John Morant was the one, and then but then he literally is a marketing liability.
Now he's a nightmare.
So and it's really crazy because people are mad that he got 25 games. I think that dude should got 50.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I hope that the conversation that MVP was like, dog, look, I was my second year I was MVP of the league, and this is what happened to me. And I just want him to kind of really give him in perspective because I want Ja to do good, but
Yeah.
I just don't know.
We want to see him play because he's exciting.
Yes.
Yeah, but
wanna
I
see him
don't
on the
know who
court.
he's going to listen to though.
No.
And I hopefully his like, shout out to LeVar Ball though. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah,
Everybody was hating on LeVar Ball.
right.
Look,
Right.
his son got. I'm changing the subject.
Go
Sorry,
ahead.
hijacked
Go
it.
ahead.
His son got 5 years, $256 million. Like, come on, man, and he deserved every penny of that. He ain't out there messing around.
No.
With doing crazy stuff. The worst thing they're doing is getting tattoos. So you're like,
That's
come
it.
on, man. Like,
At least for now, but now he's got that
Yeah.
money. We'll see. Money can change a person, but he's been around money since he was young.
Speaking
So
of money to change a person,
yeah.
I think this Jordan Poole thing.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
geez. You're rolling.
Isn't that? I mean, okay. Jordan Poole is so hilarious, right? Because first of all, his name is Poole, and the Splash Brothers, like with Poole, like the whole. I mean, that could be
worked.
it worked. But listen, what's so crazy to me, and I pick out the weirdest things, and so I saw when they won a championship, and Jordan Poole was talking about how everybody else celebrating about how they won, they about to get rings, everything, and this dude is yelling out, we about to get paid. We about to get paid, right? And then they went and they paid the dude. And then apparently this dude thought that he was
Man.
better, more important than everybody, right? Like he started talking a whole lot of crap to Draymond Green, who everybody knows is the enforcer and the heartbeat of the team.
Yeah.
He was telling Draymond Green, you was washed up. You ain't going, this your last year. Michigan sucks. They one with the Michigan State, other one with the Michigan, like talking real, like Draymond punched him, and everything.
Yeah.
And everybody like, well, what's going on? And they literally, the Warriors showed him this who we rocking with. We gonna get rid of you, number one, and then we gonna give this dude $100 million. We're gonna give him $25 million a year, which only for the Warriors he deserves that because of the contributions he's given them and the culture that he brings. Not for his play. He ain't worth $25 million for his play, but for what he is to that team, he's worth every penny. What do you guys think?
Yeah, for what Draymond brings, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, you need to keep. No, see, the thing about with Draymond Green, you need to keep those three together. Like at this point in time, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take this
or break it all up,
or break it up. And but this was the first opportunity to do so. If it was going to be a time in which they were going to say, okay, it ran its course. We kind of pushed through this. No, now it looks like they're doubling down. They're getting now veterans. They're like, okay, we have a system. We know what we can do. Okay.
They're giving it
probably they feel that maybe, the matchup wasn't right. Maybe they look at Denver like, hey, Denver didn't play us. Like maybe they're whatever they need to do to get them to the next round, with Draymond, that's what they're doing. And so I just think that for Draymond and the Golden State Warriors, it makes sense. I don't want to see Draymond play for another team. I think
he's a Warrior.
Yeah. I think he's a Warrior. I think it's 4 years. That gives him to 15 years. That's a good career. No, if you don't ever win another championship, you probably do 4 more or 3 more playoff deep runs again. He's legendary. Like, just go ahead and run out this contract and take your 4 rings and be good.
The stat says he's legendary. Is he Hall of Fame?
Ooh, not first ballot.
I didn't ask that.
I would put him in there, but not first.
You
ballot.
would. Okay.
How many defensive does he have? He has 2 defensive players of the year awards.
We will find out.
Because if he has 2 defensive player of the year awards, he has 4 rings.
Yeah,
he's probably like 5-time, 6-time all first team defense. These are All-Star. Hall of Fame. These all-star appearances. These are Hall of Fame numbers that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we're saying that he shouldn't get in, I'm just trying to say, okay, name me better, like marginal guys.
There's many that are in that don't.
Right, that doesn't have the resume.
Yeah, exactly.
Of Draymond Green.
Yeah.
See, this is the reason why I think like there should be 2 floors of the.
So was it how many defensive player of the year awards?
Hold on, I'll tell you right now.
Let's see what he did.
He is a 4-time champion, 4-time All-Star, NBA 2017 NBA Defensive Player of the Year 1 time.
Okay.
He's a 4-time All Defensive First Team.
Okay.
4-time All Defensive Second Team. He was a steals leader in 2017.
Yeah, he got a good resume, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
he has a good resume.
Based on
it's not eye popping.
Based on other people that are in the Hall. Yes,
it's not Tim Duncan. It's not that.
But he's also been so consistent.
Yeah, I mean,
he's not injury prone.
Yes, his offensive game is not too good, right? But
that's not what he's there for.
But he's not there for. He's there to set those illegal screens.
Yeah.
Because he said a lot of those.
Yeah. That's what he's good at. That's what he's good at.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, I think they should have 2 floors in the Hall of Fame. Though they got. I mean, for real. Like, I mean, NBA Hall of Fame is number 1 is watered down because
first of all, it's not the NBA
marketing.
Hall of Fame.
Well,
it's just the basketball.
Yeah, the basketball Hall of Fame. Number 1,
not the NBA. That would be a totally different.
Everybody get in, from everywhere.
Everywhere.
They need to really split that up, though, man. They need to have 2 floors. I mean, they
A
need to
bas-
have.
uh,
They
an
need to
NBA
have.
wing.
They
The
need
elite.
to have an elite.
So they need the gated community behind the gated community.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because I
Alright.
mean, it
The Mount
it's-
Rushmore, essentially.
right? Like you know what I mean? Like Dwight Howard is going to get in the Hall of Fame, and you know he and all of his accolades and stats stay, but dog, he ain't no Magic Johnson, no Michael Jordan, no, you know.
So then what you're saying, and I think I understand, and I don't think I disagree, that while putting in a Draymond or a Dwight Howard or something, these guys have great numbers. Obviously Draymond more titles, but still, in some way you feel that diminishes Kareem and Magic and the Birds and the real greats that are in there, and something needs to be
Yeah,
done
would
to
you- would you-
recognize the true cream of the crop and even the cream of the crop when it comes to the Hall of Fame.
Would you say Draymond Green is all time great?
No, I won't say all time great,
Right.
but I'm saying that he's going to get in because he has good numbers.
I got that. That's what I'm saying.
So I mean, I know what you're talking about. He's not Tim Duncan. He's not Karl Malone. You know, he's not Moses Malone.
Maybe they need
know
to
what I'm
make a
saying?
rule every time they put someone in,
Um,
someone has to go out. So you're like, who would you take out? Like, who would you take out?
well,
Yeah, man.
here's the thing,
right?
though.
Then they'd be a little picky with that.
I mean, how many?
Or people just don't get in.
Question,
Yeah, you don't get
The
in.
real question is, how many teams do you have to build until you get to where Draymond's on the team? So you know what I'm saying? Like you're starting 5. Like I would
Right.
probably have to go. I could go a good 15 starting 5s
Before you get to
before I
Draymond.
even think about maybe a Draymond Green.
Okay, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Fair.
but that's fair. I think that's fair to say that.
Yeah,
But we're not. He never was in the conversation of best ever.
yeah, but I mean it's a Hall of Fame though.
Yeah.
So I mean that's
So wait a minute. You said something about. Well, I want to go back to Dwight Howard because there was an 8-year run where Dwight Howard changed the game, and we got to be real with that. Dwight Howard was a force of nature for 8 years in the
Yes.
league. He was rebounding things at the top of the backboard.
Yes,
He was the slam dunk. He was an athletic freak.
yes.
We haven't seen anything like that since Shaq at the time. Now, Shaq was kind of getting insecure because he took the whole Superman moniker.
image.
So you know he was already on the radar. What I'm saying is if he would have stayed with that trajectory, it would have been like, yeah, he was going to have been like that. And he still had those Defensive Player of the Year award because he was the only player playing that kind of defense at that time.
Well, was he playing
was-
defense or was he just getting a whole lot of block shots?
That's
What?
defense.
But he was rebounding the ball too.
No, I mean, but that's
So
what I'm
that's
saying,
part of
though.
defense.
He was controlling
Controlling the
blocks,
boards
too.
and blocking shots is all part. And
Yeah,
he has
look,
steals.
I'll rock with that. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with that, but he was an athletic freak,
Right.
and he used his athletic ability to the utmost to be able to get to
Same
what
thing
he
like
was able to
Westbrook.
do. But at the same time, for me, he never had a second move. You know, I think if you as an NBA player,
No.
you gotta have a second move. You know, you gotta, you have to be able just to kind of do some of the intangible stuff. And he's never been.
Well, he's
Once
never
his-
been able to take a team and put it on his back.
Right,
And
you know what
I mean? Never
ride
have
it
done
to
that.
the
Yeah,
championship.
we,
so
we saw
yeah,
that.
there's things you can, there's chinks in the armor, there's chips in the wood, whatever you want to say. So definitely, but the Hall of Fame will always be questionable, but that's the beauty of all sports, right? We question the GOAT, we question what team would it be, what team from what
Yeah.
era, and that's the beauty. So we'll forever, keep talking about that. But another, guaranteed first ballot Hall of Famer, non-champion, has been in the headlines a lot. Mr. Damian Lillard, Dame Dalla.
Yeah.
Damian Lillard's been in the headlines, of course, with Portland. Portland has really failed to put a team around Damian that can win and contend. Obviously, as we know, they traded away CJ McCollum, and they really haven't put anything back. Now
Yeah.
they kept the number 3 pick. They didn't trade for another veteran, so I think Lillard's finally had enough. Thoughts? Right now, going money is Miami Heat are the favorites to land him, but you don't see that happening.
I really feel sorry for Damian Lillard because he's been, and I hate Portland as a whole for the one
Right.
because but I feel sorry for Dame because I appreciated his loyalty that he gave to a team. He never chased anything. pun intended. He never chased a ring and try to, force, people to bring stars around. He kind of just rolled with the punches and did what he did. And now he's realized, hey, look, I need help, and obviously this team was not going to be able to do it. Now, I will say that their draft, but on paper, looks really, really well. But I understand that Dame Lillard, doesn't, what is he, like 33, 34 or whatever?
Yeah.
He
So
doesn't-
the
Yeah.
draft is for the future.
Right, yeah. He doesn't
Not
have
for
a
now.
time.
Yeah.
He doesn't have time for them
No,
to develop.
no,
Um,
no.
I understand why he wants to go to Miami, but who you going with his contract? I mean, he's about to make 50 mil. You have to gut the team to take him, and he wants for sure at minimum Bama Bayou and
And Jim
Butler to
Butler.
stay there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that is a winning formula either. So listen, I would love to see Dame Lillard get out of Portland because I think he deserves to be on a contending team. Maybe Brooklyn, could put a package. Now they said that that San Antonio is preparing something.
See,
And that would be interesting.
what I was going to say
Yeah.
was that that would be interesting too, because Damian would go to another team that has no chance of winning a title anytime soon. So it'd be a
listen,
waste.
But,
But-
the coaching. The
but-
coaching is good.
Yeah, but
And
he doesn't need
they
that.
know how to. They actually would draft to put people around them, I think.
Yeah, in the next 5 years.
I mean,
He doesn't have time for that. It's not going to work. That just doesn't cut it. So let me ask you, Stat. And I'm putting you on the spot if you don't have an answer for this. I understand. Is there a team out there that's loaded with picks? Is there a team out there that has those assets? So it used to be Boston. I think they've traded a bunch of those away. What's the team out there that can help Portland rebuild? Because if they trade, they want to rebuild. They're not going to trade for another aging veteran to come in with these young guys. They're going to go into rebuild mode. They want more pieces next year. Is there a team?
There's
that
not
jumps
a
out?
team that's going to, other than getting creative and seeing if Portland wants James Harden. You got to make the salaries work. Plus, you have assets
Signing
going
trades
back.
and
It'll
stuff.
be signing trades. Other than that, there's gonna kind of hard from Miami to get, because what you mean? I know you pay Tyler Hero because you like Tyler Hero,
Yeah,
but we don't like him like y'all like him.
yeah.
And you
We
want
don't
to
see
add
the
Tyler
data.
Hero because it's going to make some of the salaries work, and he's going to be a big chunk of that salary. I don't want him. So you need to go out there and hopefully shop him around, right?
Find a third team.
And find a third team and see what you can get for him, and then see if that works for us, because we're not obligated to send him to Miami. If anything, they're looking for the best deal they can get. The Clippers has heard to be a suitor for it. There was the Boston was being floated around, but he's already shot that down because obviously, hey, hate to be like this. A lot of black people don't want to play in Boston if they have to. Like, if they get drafted, cool, they're gonna do their job, they're gonna do their thing, and hopefully don't have to deal with it. But just willingly signing up for 5-6 years in Boston, no, they're not trying to do that. And so he really is putting the Portland Trailblazers in a pickle, right? It's like, what are they supposed to do? Should they do a good, like, a sweetheart deal and be like, thank you for your services, and we'll go ahead, or I say
Send him where
like a
he
Brandon, a
wants
Bradley
to.
Beal
Yeah.
kind of deal? Or are they going to be like, no, we need to accumulate as much assets as we can, So
Mhm. Any thoughts on the Dame Lillard situation there, Money Mike?
Again, I think I just don't know where he would go. Where with the amount of money he's making, gutting the team to he's not going to want to be on the team that got gutted. So
Mm-mm.
I kind of feel sorry for him because he got all that.
He's stuck.
If you Stat Pat, you said the Clippers will probably be the best place. Maybe because they talk about Paul George or something. Maybe
Trade
they could
Paul
get Paul
George,
George.
yeah,
Over there too, and they could do a swap out because they're making the same amount of money. And then the Clippers actually, even though they don't win nothing, they actually have a good team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Westbrook could be
Decent
on the
coach.
back. You could played backup.
Hey,
to him.
if Kawhi came back healthy and played the whole season, and Lillard's there, and you got Tyronn Lue, they have a chance. There's no
Yeah,
question they have a
yeah.
chance. You know, you see what happens. As always, guys, we finish the show with a segment we call Money Mike's Out of Bounds. Money Mike's going to share his thoughts or opinions on a topic, and it's real easy, guys. He just wants to know, are those thoughts in bounds and out or out of bounds? Let us know in the comments, by the way. Money Mike, you got the mic.
So look, I gotta go. Here we go again. I mean, because I've been talking to these LeBron sexuals, and every time, and actually, I think we're gonna have a LeBron sexual on the show in the next couple of weeks. Shout out to DJ Treese, but this, I was having a conversation with her. She absolutely loves LeBron, and she was talking about. He probably deserves to get his number retired. Probably deserves to get a statue. I mean, she would say after Kobe, dude probably needs a statue. So, look, I just got to bring the oldie but goodie back. I'm not hating. I'm just going to see if you guys agree with what it is based on this argument I'm giving.
Okay.
Right? So we know LeBron came here in 2018, right? We finished 11th. We were in 11th place. We were 35 and 47. In 2019, we were in 10th place. We were 37 and 45. In 2020, we was in first place. We got a ring, right? In 2021, we was in 7th place, 42 and 30. 2022, we was in 11th place, 33 and 49. Then, last year we was in 7th place, and we see how far we get. Am I out of bounds to say, now listen, I understand that he has done and what probably the most two major things he's done in a Laker uniform is break the all-time scoring record and win the championship. But based on LeBron's resume in the 6 years that we have had him, am I out of bounds to say that he does not deserve his number retired based on the 6 years he's given us and or a statue? He does not deserve that based on the 6 years he has given us, based on the records I read out. Because we have literally been, and we've had 3 losing seasons with him, and we've been in first place one time in the whole time that LeBron's been here.
Yeah, you know what? I can agree with you. So you're inbounds because now that I'm thinking about it, I'm looking at all the numbers on the wall, and I'm looking, Kareem, Wilkes. I mean, Goodrich, just the ancillary people that are out there. Just not the heavy hitter like Kareem and Magic and and Shaq and Kobe and stuff like that. The ones that were on there all had really like good records. They all were like winning games. Like they had good records,
Seasons,
like
winning seasons.
Yeah.
Like even if we're in titles,
yeah,
they were contending.
Wilkes was winning. Like he won 2 titles contending. Goodrich was in all those wars and finally won the one with West. You know what I'm saying? You had Wilt up there. Powell. Powell, when Powell and Kobe were together, those 3 years, it was domination. So, yeah, based upon his resume and what he's done for us right now, I would be hard for me to put him on there. Now, we have to pump the brakes on when we're talking about a statue. Come on, guys. That statues, this isn't like, you know what I'm saying? What are we doing here? This isn't like a museum that everybody you get a statue. No, statues are reserved for people that have went through the wars over a long decade.
Almost like your secondary Hall of Fame levels.
There's no way, you know what I'm saying, that LeBron James deserves a trophy in front of Staples. No way.
You know what? I'm going to say you're inbounds. The reason why I'm going to say you're inbounds, if it's all sealed and done today and nothing else happens and he doesn't play again as a Laker, then you're right. And the reason I'm going off that is because Anthony Davis hasn't earned that, and he's been there and he's done everything right alongside LeBron James. He hasn't done anything better, any worse. They've both been there. They both together. So if you're looking at just the career of the player, if LeBron deserves to have everything retired and a statue, then Davis deserves to have everything in a statue. And I don't think most Laker fans are right there with Davis right now.
No.
And the reason being is because we have a clear sight. We have a clear point of reference on what a Lakers big man brings to the team and the consistency and the domination. So if you're going off the numbers and the records and all this stuff, then no, because you have to put them together. They came together, they've succeeded, and they've failed together.
Exactly.
So on that merit, no.
So for the record, I'm not hating.
You're not hating. You're
All right.
inbounds.
No,
There you
it's,
go.
you're not hating.
Inbounds. Numbers are numbers. You are inbounds.
Thank you.
And that is perfect. So you got a perfect.
I got a perfect.
You're batting 1,000%.
I ain't hating.
So for that, we're going to go ahead and call it a day. We're going to call it a Profanity Nation podcast, and we will be back next week. There's always new information. We'll see where Dame Lillard goes. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with the Sparks. They're on a losing streak right now, but we'll see if they can't get it together. Hashtag where is Lexi Brown? We're hoping Lexi Brown comes back. But other than that, just stick with us. Be sure to follow us. Subscribe to Infinity TV. Follow us on Instagram. Follow Money Mike so you can scream at him. Follow Step Pat. Everywhere. Let us know your thoughts. We'll be back next week. Thanks, guys.
Peace.